full moon in Libra. Yeah, I'm feeling this energy, and I was trying to do some other work and was finding that, yeah, the universe wasn't letting me do any work, especially if it was on the computer technology. I had taken the day off yesterday to do some yard work and gardening and spend time outside because the sun finally came out and it warmed up where I live. Today is the strange blanket of fog and clouds, and it's very ominous out there. So I was glad to at least be able to get a good look at the moon last night, but tonight will be an exact full moon in Libra. And with this full moon energy, I will say that we've got some interesting energies that are testing us, opening us up, and I'm just gonna go over them real quickly, and I want to do a reading for us all because I've been feeling like I woke up feeling inspired, and I was actually very flowing with certain things that I wanted to do, get some seeds started, and a little bit of cleanup as far as my indoor plants go and whatnot. But then when I went to do some work on my website and my brother-in-law's website and social media sites, everything started to just spin and just saying like, retry again later. So I finally got the hint, like, all right, it's not time to do this. So then I go outside and I'm like, well, what do I do? And every time I would have an idea, all of a sudden my energy would just drain. So I'm like, okay, that's not it, not this, not that. And there's many things I could be doing. I could even be like going through all my clothes and, getting rid of the things I don't wear or what doesn't fit anymore. But I just didn't even find the energy for that. So suddenly it was like, well, let's see what's going on in the energy, because I don't think there's a whole lot. There's big things happening, but there was a bit of a shift, especially from yesterday into today. Yesterday felt amazing for me personally, and I'll explain why. Others may have been intensely, let's just say, enlightening, and that is because we are moving into Mercury pre-shadow retrograde, and this is going to be a pretty intense retrograde for us as we keep moving into more and more cycles of growth and expansion. But today is the full moon in Libra, this evening, April 5th, and we have Mercury in a trine with Saturn. So this is where our mental energy can get stifled if we are multitasking or trying to multitask or trying to get something done, but our soul is like, there's a conflict there. Because Saturn's involved, our ideas and our thoughts are really dominated by our responsibilities and our duties. And that is not the energy that Mercury wants us to focus on. I thought I saw my cat outside. It is a good time with Mercury. We can find deep concentration. Mercury's the mind, intellect, communication. However, deep concentration on something more in-depth and intense, and like an intense study of sorts. Whether it be for me to dive into the astrology and suddenly my energy like perked up and started to get going again, which I knew, I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do right now. I'm really like following moment by moment, staying present. And that's the thing with Mercury trine Saturn. If you're not concentrated and focused on something in the present reality, and you're like, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you're all over the place trying to get ahead of something, or just doing something that is not working for you and you're finding a struggle, practice a pause, take a breath. I understand a lot of people are at an actual physical job, which it may be very frustrating. Focus on one thing at a time and find what that deep concentration will pull you into. I feel like intuitively, I feel like this energy is pulling us into an in-depth, intense study of the self. Because that was what my yesterday was. Although I was outside in nature all day, I even got a little bit of like sunburn and stuff, but it felt amazing to be in the sun, be in the warmth. I feel like I'm alive again. And as I'm doing, things outside, my mind is it's bringing up all of these things. It's putting pieces of the puzzle together. I'm getting so much like deep realizations for myself, as well as collective messages I've been receiving and giving for years now. Things are starting to, that's how expansive this can get. So mentally, we are profound today, but you really want to find something that is you'll feel it in your body, something that is really speaking to you to focus on if possible. But if you're very frustrated right now with your mind and your physical energy, this most likely is why. We also still have the sun in a tight conjunction to Chiron. So old concealed wounds are suddenly making sense. We're getting insight to our patterns, our behaviors, our relationships, just every day, our connection, deep old wounds. And these aren't even just childhood wounds. This is generational wounds, ancestral wounds. For me, that's what's been coming up lately. But we're getting new insight, big like aha moments. So I'd love to hear from some of you in the comments if this is what you're experiencing currently as well. And of course, we have the intensity of the full moon in Libra, which of course, ultimately wants to bring us into balance within ourselves and our relationships to life, our relationships to others, and everything that we engage in the present moment. However, sounds wonderful, right? But we are so fragmented and scatterbrained half the time that we don't even recognize it or know it all the time. So Libra full moon is really trying to bring us back into some form of balance within ourselves and within how we relate to everything outside of ourselves. Going just briefly into this Mercury retrograde, the shadow phases before Mercury stations direct. We have a pre-shadow and a post-shadow. So this is when Mercury slows down, has not completely stopped, but our mental faculties slow down and they're more deeply concentrated, but only our minds can only deeply concentrate on one thing at a time. And again, I keep saying intuitively, I feel like this is self as to how we relate to everything and everyone outside of ourselves. So pay attention. Another thing that Mercury will be highlighting, so the pre-shadow officially starts when Mercury hits about 5 degrees or so of zodiac, and Mercury is in Taurus right now. The pre-shadow is going to be from April 7th to the 20th. And then Mercury will station, will station retrograde. I know sometimes I talk too fast and then I catch myself. Mercury will station retrograde on the 21st of this month. Pay attention to themes that are arising in your life. These are building blocks for your progression, your future self. So they're trickling in little by little pieces of your puzzle. Pay attention to that. Pay attention also to new ideas that arise, especially around leveling up financially and relationally to others. This can arise through a test or a challenge of sorts with the Scorpio South Node element to this energy. So pay attention to anything that represents new growth for yourself. the North Node in Taurus relates to an entirely new reality that's being brought in for each and every one of us. What we're going to be experiencing through this Mercury retrograde, there are tips that are coming in from the universe right now. These are also things you want to pay attention to. Anything that's brought you stress, whether it's relationship-wise, relational-wise, or financially, or both. Pay attention to that, because we're going to have Mercury retrograde in Taurus from April 21st to May 14th. So this energy starts now. Whatever, really try to work on being as present as possible and paying attention to everything that, the universe is bringing in. I know I am, and I still also suffer from the human condition from time to time. It can really take over me as well. I understand the challenges and difficulties it is for our growth and evolution as a species here on this planet. But I still have a lot of faith and trust and hope that we can start to build together something that is more in tune and aligned with our true nature as a species, as humanity. One step at a time, though. It has to begin with ourself, within our own reality, our own structure of our reality. Or a lot of people are getting their reality cracked wide open, and suddenly they're like, this is not at all what I signed up for. So let's get a moon card to start this off. Yeah, I'm hearing from people, some people are really just coming to some major, big realizations for themselves. And it's, we have to thank Chiron and the sun for revealing these hidden wounds, these hidden traumas, these hidden patterns of ours. However they are. It could be as the reflection in the mirror, so to speak, from another person. It could be through therapy. It could be through these readings. It could be through other people's assistants, energy workers, and whatnot. Could be just your own natural way of picking up suddenly, like, this makes sense. We tend to distract and run from and numb out these painful parts of ourselves that are actually keys to unlocking our jail cell. I laugh because it's the truth. I laugh. I don't know why I laugh. It is an energetic release. Love it. Your hard work is paying off. All right, we're going to use this as the message to start this collective message off. Our hard work is paying off. Whatever work you have put into yourself, into a daily practice of focusing, being present, not letting anything pull you off into an old version of yourself, or when it does, recognizing that and bringing all of your parts back together, doing your parts work, your soul retrieval, healing generational patterns, family wounds, traumas, and the healing will naturally do it. Our work is to get out of the way and allow these things to happen, not to run, not to distract, not to numb. That's the work, basically. And it sounds easier than it is, because if you start to pick up the patterns of yourself of how you run or distract, those are probably, or numb, the truth of what is being revealed to you eventually. And it feels like pain. Growth is painful, but it is so beautiful and rewarding when you finally get through the pain, because the pain is just a buildup. It will continue. And it doesn't have to be physical pain, although physical pain is a symptom of deeper emotional pain. Okay. I have a candle burning right now, and the flame is just going wild. I do feel the intensity of this full moon energy. Truly do. And I can see how I can be my own worst enemy. For example, earlier, trying to resolve some issues between certain programs and apps and social media platforms so that everything worked in combination with each other and nothing was wanting to work together. And I wanted to focus on that and dig into that, and everything just kept spinning and spinning. Now, an old version of me would have stuck to that, like, and got mad and started, you know, doing anything I could and making phone calls or whatever. Now I take it as a sign. I'm going to try. I usually do like a 3 times a charm type thing. I'm going to try. And if I start to feel the intensity, I'm going to kick back. Each time I try, okay, I get the message. This is not the time for me to be doing this. Maybe in an hour, maybe in 5 minutes, but right now my focus is being called somewhere else. We have loneliness. This a big realization upon this sensation of loneliness, which, by the way, has been coming out in every reading, every zodiac, every collective reading I have been doing, every personal reading I have been doing for the last few months, this entire year. Loneliness is the theme. And I've been saying, it seems as if it's an epidemic. Pandemic. I don't know. I might get blocked now for saying that word. Loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. We're going to go deeper into that. Let's see if I can show you the cards better. Your hard work is paying off. It is a solo journey when we're going through the process of unlocking parts of ourselves that have laid dormant, or the realization of ourselves. We got that. We have to do that. That's deep inner work. We have judgment. And this came out as the realization of ourselves pops in. I understand that everyone has their own unique paths and challenges. Possible that the loneliness stems from our own judgment towards others and ourselves, when we are, for all intents and purposes, we are all a part of each other. And the separation is what's the illusion. And I know that this can be very confusing until you get it, until you have that, until you stop running, until you stop denying, suppressing, numbing what truths are showing to you. Yeah, we're going to stand in separation and in judgment. And that is why we as a humanity feel so alone. It's almost as if it was carefully orchestrated. This independence and just the mentality, the social conditioning, and all the programming, all the trauma, all the pain. Peace and worry came out together. So these are two sides of the same coin, pretty much. With doubt at the bottom. I release the need to know all the answers. So collectively, and it could be on a day-to-day basis. One day you're feeling more peaceful. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. And then the next day you're worried because suddenly you're not your same old self anymore. Suddenly life feels different. Everything feels different. And that brings up a lot of worry. Lean into that. Why? Why are you worried? I am learning that worry does not change an outcome. We get so sucked into this fear, especially when it comes to finances and relationships, because there's so much program and there's so much control involved in those two areas of life. I've released the need to know all the answers. So collectively, we're still kind of spinning around in the washing machine. And some of us are really finding our inner peace and our connection to all. But it's this peace and worry. It's almost like Stockholm syndrome. You know, the gates are open, but who's going to go venture out into the unknown? Is it safe? I won't do it until someone else does it, until I see someone else do it and see how they made it through. And nobody wants to do that. Well, I take that back, because I'm definitely one that's like, all right, what's going on out there? There are pioneers. I'm not calling myself a pioneer, but there are many big pioneers in this world that have left the confounds of the imprisonment that we've all been programmed into, and living very peaceful lives, happy. They're still concerned for the state of the world, yet we are not living in the confines of that programming. Okay, and others will follow. There's still some more stripping away, still some more to experience and be revealed. And this is up to each and every individual. The timing, you can't put a time on this. Everyone's journey is unique. It's a unique path with unique challenges. And here comes the sun a little bit. Movement, choices, decisions. This is just reiterating what I just said, especially about Stockholm syndrome, or I said Plato's closet, Plato's cave analogy, for any of you who follow that. Yeah, it is the analogy that for Plato's cave, I'm going to shorten it and just make it my own version. I believe it was Socrates. I'm not going to go into depth. So there were people living in a cave. That's all they knew were the shadow puppets that the masters would show them. And this is all that they knew. And then one day the cave was opened, and one decided to venture out. And it was like a whole new world, like all of this stuff. But everybody else was like, he's crazy. He's crazy. He's going to die. I'm not going out there. And they stayed in the cave. That's the short story. It's everybody's individual, unique decision to make movements, choices, new decisions, and make a change for themselves. Well, that card was totally taken out of my hand. All right. So, one of the things that is concerning many in the collective from this reading, from this energy, is not so much anything else but the judgment of others. Stand your ground. Why do you care what other people think? That's a deep question to ask yourself if you find yourself in that place. It is very legitimate. It is very true. And I, for one, recall falling into this, especially when it was like with my child, or with, you know, when you make a great shift in life, like all of a sudden you awaken and you're like, I don't like this old version. This is not even me. You know, so all your loved ones and people that know you are going to be like, who are you at first? And that can be a little like, you can start to doubt yourself and worry. Am I making the right choice? Am I making the right decision? Well, ask yourself this. Instead of letting the brain even take over, follow how you feel. Aside from the judgment of others, how does it feel to live in your truth, in your authenticity? Feels pretty damn amazing, doesn't it? Stand your ground. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. God, and this is what's keeping people from their union of self, their spiritual union to the truth, to life force energy. There's a lot of suffering and silence going on here. There's still there's worry. There's this peace. There could be even, like, the way I'm reading this now is outside presenting yourself as a peaceful person, but internally there's still worry. There's worry. How will I be perceived by others? Will I be taken seriously? Do I even know what I'm doing? You don't need to know what you're doing. You need to feel what you're doing. Friendship below this. Okay. But that's a deeper core wound also to look into, as we all have been kind of conditioned and programmed to one degree or another to sort of pay attention to what other people are doing and compare. That's just a natural thing that the brain will do. It's more of a survival thing. But then, yeah, I mean, take a look around. You guys know. You know how this gets formed. I'm feeling very, suddenly a deep, like, some of you may be swallowing your feelings. Oh. Swallowing your pride. All right. I keep hearing slow down. That might just be for me. But this is a process that we need to slow down with. We have the Moon and the Six of Cups. Oh. Yeah, the Moon is bringing up a lot of memories. A lot of memories of your true vulnerable self. We all can have a deep memory, even if it goes back to childhood, where we're just like happy-go-lucky, feeling, you know, just feeling ourselves. Even if it's a fleeting moment. That's what's coming up. It's coming up in the emotional field. It's also coming up from hidden parts of ourselves that we have suppressed memories. Maybe out of depression, deep loneliness. So now's the choice. It's always a choice point to make a move, make a change. I'm totally been, it's wild that the cards are coming out because I've been seeing this and feeling this. I have memories of my own journey. And I'm still experiencing this even in my current journey at a much deeper level as to what has disconnected me from my source energy, from myself. King of Cups in reverse. Yeah, we're forced to swallow it, swallow our feelings. Numb them out, drain them out, so that we wouldn't be judged by others, so that we would just flow with the crowd, what everybody else is doing. And the sun continues to come out. Yeah. And my stomach just started growling. I don't know if that is my solar plexus or I'm hungry. The star. All right, so we are healing old patterns that are linked to this worry of the judgment of others, what other people think. Anything that we have been holding internally and not expressing outwardly, it was causing pain, suffering, and silence. This is beautiful. Collectively, overcoming challenges, obstacles, fears, overcoming ourselves. The things that we've hidden with ourselves so that we can have this deeper connection to life, to nature, to ourselves, to others. I'm feeling something from this deck, as I have been for weeks now. Oracle of the Seven Energies. When you do find that connection, even if it's for a fleeting moment, remember what it feels like. Remember what it feels like to see the sun setting in the brilliant colors. Remember what it feels like to have an encounter with nature or birds or even otherworldly experiences or another person. The whole body lights up. Everything, suddenly nothing else matters. Some of us, it is only a fleeting moment. For others, we can float in that realm for quite some time. Regardless where you are, know that you can expand that. You can have that. That comes from you. That comes from your connection to your stream of energy. It's not getting pinched off in fear, worry, judgment, doubt. Your hard work is paying off. Okay. We have, oh, these are the best cards for this reading. Okay. We're going to start with a tall tail and end with ears wide open. And I'm already hearing, you know, again, with this Mercury, Saturn energy, we're, as well as the Sun conjunct Chiron, both of those energies combined with this full moon energy is really showing us these lies that we feed into and we tell ourselves even. It's important to pick up, like I was saying, Mercury retrograde energy. Pay attention to all the puzzle pieces that are coming in, the building blocks. Listen and see and stay very present. All right, we're going to read these from the book. It requires us to slow down as well. Try not to, I mean, we have I even have it still in me at times. It's robotic. It's like multitask. Grocery store, this, that. Sometimes when you're in flow, you can certainly do that. But when the energy says no, don't fight it. You're going to have problems. Okay. I know from experience, many experiences. Okay, you or someone else is telling a tall tale right now. You always know if a falsehood is spoken because it doesn't feel grounded. When you lie, you get high on an illusory sense of power that is doomed to fail at some point. You feel driven by fear of exposure, but something makes you stick to your story even though you know it has no substance. Whatever lie we are caught up in isn't as important as the motive for it. Why does anyone lie? Perhaps we don't believe the truth is good enough, or we want to keep doing what we know we shouldn't be doing. Then there is a lie put forth while in denial, such as hiding an active addiction. In this scenario, we may believe our own lies. The tall tale, the white lie, the stretching of the truth, the blatant fabrications are all about control. Oops. The desire for it, the lack of it, the need to maintain it so we can manipulate our outer world and hide our inner one. Today, ask for the truth. Be willing to pay the price and be okay with the vulnerability your lie is exposing in yourself and others. Transparency is required to get to where you need to go, to be truly empowered, to reveal the strength of what is true and authentic. Any other path leads to a dead end. Remember the saying, the truth will set you free, and get ready to fly unfettered. So this also may be not only us lying to ourselves, but maybe some are lying to others or have been concealing or covering up something. And this is maybe an experience that some people are having, and you know, that happens. I know for me in my past, as falling into an addictive pattern with pain medications, I certainly fell into those moments where I did not tell the full truth at times. And I can certainly honestly sit here now and even share that with the world, because I want to put it out there. It's not worth doing what you're doing. It's not worth keeping things to yourself. Ears wide open. That's where the loneliness really sets in. The fear of judgment and the judgment of others. This could be specific for some. Know that you are loved. We all are going through a healing process, so try not to fight it. Be very honest, because the more honest we are with ourselves and with others, the faster, the further we'll grow and heal and evolve. All right, ears wide open. The world is constantly speaking to us and offering clues about what is really going on beneath the surface of things. We all have the capacity to hear beyond the noise that reaches our ears. The challenge is when we feel misunderstood and unheard. When we feel insignificant, it's easy to over-explain ourselves in an attempt to get acknowledged. Now is the time to let all that go. Offer your attention as the great gift it is. It's time to stop multitasking, checking your phone, thinking of what you're going to say next, and doing all the other things that keep you from connecting fully. All that came out in the reading. Deep breath. Whenever we are in a state of chaos and distraction, paying attention to only some of what is being said, we lose the ability to pick up on everything, including that which is not being said. Deep listening is the way in which we immerse ourselves in truth of the world. In this way, with ears wide open, we can also open our hearts and minds to understand more than what is conveyed through words alone. Opportunities arise from the subtle cues we miss when we are not 100% present. Purposeful, open listening is an act of true respect and intimacy. When you are in this space of receptivity, letting go of the need to be heard or to be right, you become expansive and alert to meaningful potential. Right now, keep your ears wide open and you will find more than you were searching for. And I think that is a wrap for this full moon reading. So again, I'm sending you out so much love. Thank you for tuning in and joining. And if you did like this video, please take that time to click that thumbs up like button for me, please. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe as well. Truly appreciate all of you who take the time to do. And I'm sending you all out so much love. Take care. Bye.